Absolutely, he was. Well, speaking of Kingston and being ready for a fight, let's talk about our Full Gear preview. Let's talk about who's ready for what fight and what fights we think are going to steal the show. So, let's go ahead and get to it. First of all, I'm going to go over the match card real quick. We got the pre-show, the buy-in. Nyla Rose and Jamie Hayter versus Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa. We've got Pock and Cody Rhodes versus Malachi Black and Andrade El Idolo. We've got the Falls Count Anywhere 6-man tag match between Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express versus the Super Click. We've got Darby Allen versus MJF, a Minneapolis street fight between the Inner Circle and the Men of the Year and American Top Team. CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. The AEW Tag Team Championship, Lucha Brothers taking on FTR. We've got the AEW Women's World Championship between Britt Baker and Ty Conti. And lastly, we've got the World Championship Eliminator Tournament Final between Bryan Danielson and Miro. And actually, lastly, we have the Best Bout Machine, the Belt Collector, Kenny Omega versus Cowboy Shit Hangman Adam Page. Pretty good card. Pretty good card.
Pretty good card. I do believe that Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, is going to retain.
Yes, I agree. I love Ty Conti, but she was my pick for the first TBS champion. I literally stated, and I love me some Ty Conti, but I literally stated that the TBS champion, in my eyes, needs to be somebody who you don't believe would have a chance to dethrone the Doctor. And I don't believe Ty Conti has a chance to dethrone the Doctor. I don't see it. I can't.
Well, why are we going to take the strap off of Britt Baker right now anyway?
You wouldn't.
You can't.
No.
You can't.
In my eyes, there's honestly nobody yet who can. I think if anybody does, you renew the rivalry between her and Ruby and have Ruby do it. I think that's the only person on that roster right now who could come in and dethrone her.
Because she's the only believable person right now who can dethrone her.
Yeah. And I do think it's going to come. I think it's going to come probably a Revolution. Britt has had a heck of a reign as champion. I love it. I don't ever want to see her lose a title. If she could hold that title and go undefeated for the rest of her career, and I would buy every single bit of it. But I do think that probably at Revolution, they're going to call her reign a day and have Ruby take the title off of her, because again, nobody else can do it and be believable about it. But yes, so I do want to say Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD is I'm going to agree with you. She's taking that W and heading home. Who do you have? We'll go from the bottom up. The pre-show. What do you think's going to go on with the pre-show?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
I'm going to tell you what I think, because I'm disappointed. I am really disappointed that this isn't already a match. We should be getting Shida versus Deeb 3.
We should, and it should be on the Full Gear pay-per-view itself, but it's not.
Well,
they're dropping the ball.
But that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you're going to have Serena Deeb attack Hikaru Shida before the match even starts. She's going to get taken out of the match, and then you can have Anna Jay come in and replace Hikaru Shida and team up with Thunder Rosa for that match. And then you're going to have it be announced, an extra match for the pay-per-view, and it's going to be Shida versus Deeb 3. And we're going to have an extra match.
Yeah, you might as well have that be the opening match of the pay-per-view.
And that's the thing. I'm looking at this card, and I don't see a true-to-form opening match. You know? last pay-per-view we had Eddie Kingston versus Miro for the TNT title, and that was a
Mhm.
great opener. I'm looking at this, and everything really doesn't have that feel to it. You can't do Punk versus Kingston. I don't think you should do any of these 3 title matches that we have. You don't want to put Cody and Malachi in there that early. That's not good. Um,
You don't want to put Darby Allen and MJF in the opening match.
no, you can't do that. That's got to be later on, if you ask me.
Mhm.
You also don't want to start with the chaos that's going to be either the street fight or the Falls Count Anywhere 6-man tag.
Although I can see AEW leaning that way.
I was about to say, if they don't add an extra match, I think the Falls Count Anywhere 6-man tag match will end up opening the show. Um, that's just my prediction, personally. I think that'll be the opener. If they don't go with my prediction of Sheeta gets taken out, Anna Jay steps in, we get Sheeta Deeb 3 as the opening match. In which
Uh,
case, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I like that idea.
Well, I'm hopeful that they're listening again because we are like 3 for 3 on these, and yeah, so I'm hopeful that they're listening because I really hope that that's the case. And if it is the case, then I'm gonna say you go ahead and have Sheeta take the W on that one. Go 2 out of 3 in a solid, clean victory. Move on in the TBS Championship tournament and keep it moving from there. So she needs to push a little bit more. So I think
She
that'd
does.
be good. Then we've got Pock and Cody versus Malachi and Andrade. What do you think about that one?
I think Malachi and Andrade are gonna win.
I really
That's how
hope
I would do
so.
it.
I hope so. You had Cody get the win singles over Malachi. He got that, and that's great. I think that match you need to have Malachi and Andrade win. Cody doesn't have to take the pin. You can have him pin Pac, but honestly, I do think Cody should take the pin. I think he can take it better than Pac can right now. I think that's somebody that you need to be building, not having him get a pin on a pay per view. Cody is like this. What's the word I'm looking for? He's established.
I was gonna say he's fine whether he wins or whether he loses. He's not gonna lose any momentum,
None.
and even if he gets the win, it's not gonna give him any more momentum than he already has.
Agreed.
Fans are already booing him.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think you have either one of them pin Cody would be fine by me. It'd be great. But realistically, I'd like to see Malachi Black get the pin over Cody. Come back and get that after taking the loss. That's going to be a good one, though. I think that's going to be a good one.
Oh yeah.
And then we've got the Falls Count Anywhere 6-man tag, Christian Cage, Jurassic Express versus the Super Click.
Super Click's gonna win. Super Click's gonna win.
I feel like I don't know on this one. I really want to say Super Click.
How could you not with Adam Cole, baby?
Yeah, I really want to, but at the same time, I feel like they're really trying to do something with Jungle Boy right now.
They're trying to give him a proper push, is what they're trying to do.
It really has that feeling. I think maybe they have him win, but at the same time, I really like the idea of having Adam Cole go over in his first pay per view match. I don't want to see him lose a pay per view match in his first pay per view.
I can understand that.
But at the same time, it's whoa, 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 whoa. Like this is a tough call. It's a tough call, but I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
give me the Super Click, I guess. I'm just
There's some hesitation.
yeah, I feel
But,
dirty having to pick either one, but
okay.
yeah, it's tough. Speaking of tough, here's another tough one, at least in my eyes. Darby Allen versus MJF.
Who do you book to win?
That's the question. That's the magic question here. They both need it. They both
I
need
mean,
it.
I would almost say you book Darby Allen to win, only because Sting was part of most of the feud, and Darby's only been involved in these last couple of weeks. So you want to have the face and Darby Allen go over the heel in MJF, but on another hand, I'm looking at MJF and I'm thinking, as a heel, he needs the momentum just to prove that he's the threat that they're trying to build him up as.
I agree. Because here's the thing, you now have a face champion for the first time in quite a while. Omega's had a long reign with that title. And you're now about to have a face champion. MJF could be somebody to take on that face champion in Hangman Adam Page. So, in my eyes, MJF needs to start gaining some traction for that potential feud with Hangman Adam Page. And when it does happen, it's going to be great. It's going to really... Everybody that MJF goes up against, their character gets this new depth because he is able to just uncover these barbs in their flesh and tear them. It's great to see, honestly.
He helps elevate them is what he does.
He really does. I'm going to stand by my prediction from close to the beginning of this feud, I think it was. This match, you're going to see, it's going to be a good match. Darby is going to lose his cool. MJF is going to have either the pinnacle or he's going to do it himself. Somebody's going to hurt Sting, just like they've done before, but it's going to be worse this time. They're actually going to go out and they're going to hurt him. They're going to show like a video. He's going to point to the Tron and they're going to have Sting and they're going to do something to him. And it's going to cause Darby Allen to snap and get himself disqualified, which is going to be something that AEW does not do often, as we've mentioned. But I think this is the time to do it. And then MJF will feel satisfied that he broke him mentally and he gets the win via disqualification. So he gets the win on paper to boost his character, but at the same time, Darby doesn't look bad by taking a quote-unquote loss, per se. That's the way I do it. But yeah, MJF, I feel like, needs to win this match more than Darby does.
Because Darby, well, let's face it, Darby will have the momentum because the fans love him. But MJF is your top heel basically right now.
He is. MJF is not only your top heel right now, but he is a future world title contender. I love Darby Allen. But, you know, he himself has said he's not even interested in the world title. He wants the TNT title. That's his goal.
Well, you got to start somewhere, and who knows? Maybe carrying around that TNT championship, he'll want to carry around the World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, he had it before. He wants it back. He wants it back. I don't blame him. It's a beautiful championship. It's a very beautiful championship. I love it. I love the design of it. But yeah, I mean, that's essentially his world title. He wants to focus on the TNT title. That's what he wants. He's not interested in world titles. He's just focused on the TNT. And I think that's an astute placement for him because that's where he belongs in my eyes. I think he's a great performer. And we had this discussion during the All Out post show where I don't see him as a world title contender. I don't.
I could see why.
You know?
Honestly.
I get it. I get it that there's people of size disadvantages that do these underdog aspects, but it's not even a size disadvantage. That dude's arms are about as thick as the bars separating my camera and the Full Gear logo. He's skinny, he's tiny, he's short, he's thin, he's small. He's small.
Yeah.
Like,
he's small. If this were WWE, he would be a cruiserweight.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, if it was WWE, he would never even be given a chance, which thank God it's not, because he definitely needs to be given a chance because he's able to use this, innovative offense to kind of even the field. But at the same time, like, I can't see Darby Allen realistically defeating somebody like a Kenny Omega.
No, because it's not realistic. I know someone's going to say, but Mike, Wrestling isn't realistic. What I'm saying is, it wouldn't be believable. Fans wouldn't
Mm-mm.
buy it.
No,
The bookers won't buy it.
not at all.
And getting back to the fans, if the fans don't buy it, then that means that they're going to tune out of that rivalry or they're going to tune out of your product for that particular feud.
I agree. I agree. And again, I think he's a great performer. I think he's definitely one of the faces of AEW. But ultimately, he neither needs nor wants a world title run. And yeah, for those reasons, MJF all the way. Then we've got Inner Circle versus Men of the Year and American Top Team in the Minneapolis Street Fight match.
Inner Circle. Come on, let's just get rid of America's Top Team. Get them off TV.
I'm torn on this one, actually. I'm torn because, on one hand, did you know that Dan Lambert is undefeated in pro wrestling matches?
I do know. I did see that he was in Impact and
He's
he
2
won
and
his
0.
match in Impact.
He
Yeah,
won both of them. He was in 2.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, maybe the street fight element is a way to be able to get them to go over. But honestly, I would like to see it end. I would like to see American Top Team come to an end and just be over, be done with it. It's been bad. It's been good. It's been real, and it's been fun. But has it been real fun? No. Yeah, I agree. And to be completely honest here, I think that it's actually gone on too far.
Yeah, it has. It's gone on too far, too long.
Well, they reached a point a couple weeks ago at which I was proclaiming it was really good, and it was good, and they just they passed that point. They passed it.
Yep. They tripped.
They really did. The problem is that with literally every other rivalry, they've taken breaks. And I've criticized them for that, but they've taken breaks. And with this one, they put the carrying weight on the wrong shoulder. And for a few weeks in a row, they put that weight on this feud. And the first 2 weeks, it was really great. It did a good job. But then after that, unfortunately, the shoulder just gave out, and it really started to suffer. In my eyes, personally, it really started to suffer, and it's visible. It needs to end. Let's just cut it. Let's just call it a day. Cut the losses. Have the Inner Circle win. They can pin Dan Lambert, get that end his undefeated streak, and move forward.
Well, it's like seeing Dan Lambert put Chris Jericho through the table the other night. I was going, really? Come on.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
That's fine. We have different opinions, but really, I didn't need to see that. And then to have Dan Lambert put Chris Jericho in the walls of Jericho. I don't know. I just haven't been that all overall impressed with this feud. Even when it did have its moments where it seemed to be picking up, I haven't been sold on this.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's definitely not been the best. It has not been the best by any mean. But again, it's had its good moments. But again, it's been more than anything annoying, I would say. More than anything, it's the kind of thing, like, if I'm watching with my wife, there's moments where I'm like, oh babe, look at this, check this out, this is gonna be really cool. And then there's moments where I'm like, oh shit, I hope she's not paying attention right now. And this is one of those moments where I'm just like, wow, I really hope she's not paying attention, because this is embarrassingly bad.
This isn't the part of wrestling you should be paying attention to any way, shape, or form.
Not at all. But a part that you should be paying attention to is the next match on the card, which is CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. What do you think about this one?
I'm going to say Eddie gets the win.
I really want to see Eddie get the win too. I don't know if he will. I don't know if he's going to be the guy to go over CM Punk for the first time in AEW, but I think he should maybe be the guy. I don't know. I've mentioned before, I think it should be Malachi Black that gets the first win over him, but I don't think they're going to give him that streak for that long. Malachi seems to be pretty invested in other things. They seem to have a pretty good plan for him long term. I don't think CM Punk is in his radar anytime soon, so yeah, I mean, Eddie Kingston would not be a bad choice at all to hand CM Punk his first loss.
Hmm.
I'm going to go with Kingston with you. And I think it's going to be a fun match. Very entertaining, very different. Not match of the night by any means, but very fun, very entertaining, and a match that I think will have a lot to talk about.
It's gonna be a fight. No way to say it. No way to look at it. It's gonna be a fight.
That's it right there. That's it. That's what it's going to be. And then next up, we've got another merging of the styles, the intersection of talents. Lucha Brothers defending the AEW World Tag Team Championship versus FTR. Who do you have in this one?
Lucha Brothers, they retain.
I'm going FTR. Yeah. You're looking at me. You're looking at me all funny and crazy. What's this? I'm going FTR.
I think it's crazy. That's why I'm looking at you crazy. Like, no.
Okay.
The
Well,
Lucha Brothers only got the titles at All Out. Why are you
hey,
gonna have them drop the titles as soon?
not all reigns
They've
are
already
meant to last forever.
they've already dropped the AAA titles to FTR. Now you're telling me that they're gonna drop the AEW titles?
They're going to get, first of all, there is a match at Triple Mania for the AAA tag team titles between the Lucha Brothers and FTR. They're going to get those back there. They're going to basically do a swap. But give me your reasoning, other than they just got them, as to why the Lucha Brothers should win this match. And I'll tell you my reasoning as to why FTR should win it.
My reasoning is because a team like the Lucha Brothers needs to be able to get out there and allow the audience to get to know them a little better. Whether you get a different mouthpiece for them, whether you put them in better programs, the fans still need to get to know them better. And to cut their tag team title run short, I don't think that does them any good.
Okay. So here's my thoughts. The Lucha Brothers don't need the tag team titles. They don't need them. And furthermore, they are a transitional champion. They're transitional champions. They won the championship to have a big moment, to get the crowd hyped, to have a great match with the Young Bucks, and to take the titles off the Young Bucks so that the Young Bucks could then go do the Super Click with Adam Cole. That was their role, was to get the titles off the Young Bucks and on to the actual long-term tag team champions. Look, the Lucha Brothers are talented. They are one of the best tag teams in AEW, and the fans love them. The fans are going to chant their name. They're going to be tuned into every one of their matches, whether they're champions or not. And the reality is, this is a situation where it's almost more fun to cheer for them to win the championships than it is to cheer for them to defend the championships. FTR has the ability to promo themselves. They have the talking ability. They need these titles a lot more than the Lucha Brothers do. They are all, they proclaim themselves to be top guys. They can talk. They can back it up in the ring. They don't need a mouthpiece. They have one if they needed it, but they don't need one. And they're able to carry a program. There's a lot of really great tag team talent in AEW right now, and there could be even more with all the new potential roster pickups. But there's so many amazing potential feuds for a heel tag team champions that FTR is winning this match. I'm going with it. And it's not just because I'm a Carolina boy. FTR is winning this match because they have the better promo ability. They're going to be better champions. Your champions need to have personality, not just Alex says. You got to have champions with personality. Lucha Brothers, it was fun to cheer for them to win the title. It was a great moment. But not all reigns are meant to last forever.
So let me ask you this then. FTR wins the championship tomorrow, the tag team championships. Do you have them go against Jurassic Express?
Not immediately, but soon. Yes, soon.
Especially with the way they're trying to build up Jurassic Express with Luchasaurus and Jack Perry, Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
Indeed. Here's what I do. I have FTR, and this is my 45-point plan right here. I have FTR win the tag team championships tomorrow night at Full Gear. Then I have the Briscoe brothers come in from Ring of Honor, the now disbanded Dem Boys from the now disbanded Ring of Honor, and get into a long-term program with FTR that would carry us from Full Gear to Revolution. And of course, have some title defenses here and there in between. But yes, so the Revolution match would be the Briscoes taking on FTR. FTR retains. And then you get into a situation where, they've defended against a few different people, but they haven't defended against Jurassic Express. And I'm pretty sure Double or Nothing is the next pay-per-view after Revolution.
Yeah, I think you're right on that.
So then you have Double or Nothing, FTR versus Jurassic Express. Jurassic Express finally wins at the big one. FTR had a nice period of time to reign and, put themselves over as the heel champs. And then they put it over to Jurassic Express.
Although, going off your idea, what if you had them boys, the Briscoes, debut when Jurassic Express is in their match against FTR and they help Jurassic Express win the championships? Because remember, Ring of Honor isn't officially going out of, don't want to say business, but going on their hiatus until after their final pay-per-view in December.
Correct. December 11th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Not that far from now.
No. So Final Battle, I think that's what it's called.
Indeed.
Final Battle isn't until December.
Aptly titled for once.
Yeah. So until then, even though they said everybody's released from their contracts, until then, that's going to be when they're officially released from their contracts, unless someone has a contract where they're being paid till March, as I recall the article saying.
So
but what if you...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, finish, please.
So, after Final Battle, the Briscoes become available. Then at the Revolution pay-per-view, that's when you have the Briscoes debut. And by that point, Jurassic Express should be building enough momentum where they can be considered serious contenders for the Tag Team Championship. And when they have their match, whether it's on Dynamite, Rampage, Double or Nothing, wherever it is, that's when you have the Briscoes come in, even if they've already made their debut. You have them come in a way, interfere with that match, but they cost FTR the Tag Team Championships.
I think
I
think it's a great
like
idea. I think it's. I give you an A for effort, but unfortunately, it's a no from me.
All right.
I can't do my boys like that, man. That's the only reason I can't do my boys like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do FTR like that. They're the greatest tag team in professional wrestling today, and
that remains to be seen.
well, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Um, I can't do my boys like that. I just can't do it. I don't even want them to lose the title after 2 pay-per-views. I want them to have an incredibly long run. But ultimately, I do think that the time is fast approached, and I say that word approached past tense. Like it's time. Jurassic Express does need a run, but first, I think you build up a nice long-term heel championship reign. And I know 4 months is not truly long term, but I think it's good enough.
In the terms of wrestling and modern times, it's definitely long enough.
Yeah, I think that's the thing too, is that it's a different time now. You've got different people, and in AEW being as crowded as it is, you kind of have to share the love around a little bit more. And I don't foresee a whole lot of year-long title reigns right now. There's a lot of people who are coming into their own, and they're coming into their own very fast. So, it's not like WWE where for a long time they had 2 sets of titles. You had 2 different sets of tag team championships, so you could easily give 2 great championships or tag teams a highlighted role. It's not like that. You only have 1 set of tag champs, and that's it. And it needs to be FTR, baby.
And you only technically have 3 hours of cable network television to get all these men and women in front of the camera and in front of the fans.
Exactly.
It's not like you have 3 hours of Raw, then you have 2 hours of NXT, then 2 hours of SmackDown to get everybody on the roster on TV.
And that is
You don't have
exactly
that
why.
luxury.
You don't. And that is exactly why your tag champs need to be able to talk, carry their mouths, and keep a promo going. FTR,
Okay.
all the way.
Okay. FTR for life.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We already covered Britt Baker versus Ty Conti. That's the easiest match on the card to call. Then we got the World Championship Eliminator Tournament between Bryan Danielson and Miro.
Miro's got to go over. His God demands it. His God beckons it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have Adam Page win the title tomorrow night on Full Gear, you're going to need somebody who can get into that title picture right away as the top heel. And who better than Miro?
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Miro is the winner of this match. This is going to be a nice match, y'all. This right here could very well be match of the night. It has the possibility to do so. I don't think it will be. I think it could definitely be up there though. Top 3 for sure. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. This is going to be very we've seen it before in WWE, so I'm interested to see how much better it's going to be now on an AEW pay-per-view. It's going to be very, very physical, very entertaining. It's going to be fun to watch. And then ultimately, we're going to have a battle of submissions.
I think it's going to be a better match because the restraints that the 2 men had in WWE aren't going to be there.
Indeed. It'll be much better. Miro's got to win it, though. Miro's got to win it. Bryan Danielson does not need the win right now. He is doing fantastic. He's been on a streak. He's had a tie with the world champion. He's done everything he needs to do. This match right here, he does not need to win. Miro, on the other hand, does need to win this match. He needs to win this match greatly. He has not done anything since losing the title to Eddie Kingston, and it's time for him to come back with a vengeance. I'm sorry, not losing the title to Eddie Kingston, losing the title to Sammy Guevara. I was looking at Eddie Kingston's name on my notes, and I slipped. I done goofed. Yeah, he has not done anything since losing that title to Sammy Guevara, which I mistake. But anyway, yeah, he needs to do something and do something big. This is the exact thing that he needs to do.
Yeah, and if Jon Moxley was still in the picture, I would have said a completely different outcome. I would have said Bryan Danielson. Sorry, almost went there.
Quite all right.
But Bryan Danielson would need to get the win over Jon Moxley, but Jon Moxley is taking care of himself
I,
right now, as he should be.
I'm going to disagree with you on that one, too. I think you would have John Moxley get the win over Bryan Danielson and do sort of like a heel turn that he was really pushing towards. They were pushing him towards a heel turn. And I think you would have had him go full heel and take on Hangman Adam Page, and I think they would have tore the house down at Revolution, is what I think.
I mean, it could still technically happen because we don't know how long his rehab process is going to take.
Very true. Very true. Well, speaking of Hangman Adam Page being the champion, obviously I don't need to ask you who do you think is going to win between Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. And obviously I don't need to ask 8 other people on Twitter who's going to be the winner of Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega. We all are in agreement. Nobody's arguing this one. Hangman Adam Page is going to be raising that belt at the end of the night, tomorrow night, as your new TNT champion.
Well, TNT
Shit,
champion.
TNT. Darn it, TNT champion. I'm holding the TNT title, okay? It's 12:45 in the morning and I'm sleepy.
You and me both. What Quinn Man meant to say was he's going to be holding the All Elite Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship after all is said and done.
Yes, that is what was intended to have been said. I drank a whole cup of coffee during this thing, and unfortunately, it did nothing for me.
Well, you didn't get the hot tag from the coffee like you were hoping.
Sure didn't. I'm gonna have to pull a heel turn on this caffeine, but
no, I think your caffeine pulled a heel turn on you.
Yeah, it did a low blow on me is what it did. I was expecting it to be there for me, and it just jumped off the apron and left me hanging.
It went.
Yep, it walked right away from the match. It did to me what Adam Cole did to Bobby Fish tonight. But yeah, no, this is gonna be a good match though. This is gonna be a really good match. And again, Adam Page is gonna take the title. All right, well, now we've gone through the card. We've given our expectations of who's going to win, who's going to lose, who's going over, what are we going to do with it. But let me ask you something, Pacific.
Okay.
I want you to give me a commitment right now.
Oh, great.
Which of these many awesome matches is going to take home match of the night? What match is going to step up and say, look at me, I'm stealing the show at Full Gear?
MJF versus Darby Allen.
And tell me
That's
why.
an easy one for me. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because we've gotten the build-up.
Tell me why. Sorry.
We know what these two guys can do in the ring. They're going to put on a show. They're going to put on a technical match. They're going to put on, a submission match. Because we know that the two of them can do it. And yes, we know there's going to be interference, but that's also going to help the match. You're going to have Steen there at ringside in Darby's corner. Well, Andrade is going to be there in MJF's corner.
You think Andrade will be there?
I could see that happening. I mean, picking up from a few weeks ago, remember the money exchange?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
MJF is going to continue to offer money to anyone, including Andrade, to give him help. Because that's what heels do. That's what good heels do. They try to put everything that they can and stack it against the face. It's up to that face to overcome the odds.
Okay.
It's up to Darby Allen to prove that he can win over MJF without the help of Sting. Because I think Sting's going to be taken out early.
It's a good plan. It's a good plan. It's a nice plan. It's not bad. Not bad. I could easily see that match stepping up and taking the cake. But my pick is going to be the best bout machine living up to his name. Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page, we mentioned early on in the show, this is a rivalry that has been a long time coming. These two have known each other for years. They've already went up against each other in AEW, so they've already set a standard. They're going to be looking to raise that standard even higher. They know each other so well. There's so much bitterness in this long-term rivalry. It's all going to come to a head. Like I said, they should have used this long-term rivalry to fuel the fire a little bit before, but they didn't. But that's okay, because they're going to use it during the match. This right here is going to be a culmination of years in the making. And for those reasons, and just with the simple fact of how talented these two are, this is going to be match of the night. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think this is going to be a candidate for match of the year.
Yeah, and I can definitely see the Elite, sticking their nose where they don't belong to try to help Kenny Omega retain.
I don't think it's going to be the Elite. I think it's going to be Don Callis. Because I really think that based on the segment we had on Rampage tonight, and furthermore, the Elite are going to be beat up from that Falls Count Anywhere 6-man tag match.
Well, still, if their man Kenny Omega says, I want you out there, he's the general. What are you going to do? Disobey direct orders from the general?
Well, that's very true. It's very true. It could happen. It could happen. But I think what you're ultimately going to have is, if they do try to come out, this is going to be a little bit different. Most people that they would try to do that to, the numbers are going to be against them. But Hangman Adam Page has got the entire Dark Order who doesn't have a date on November 13th. They have no date. They got nothing better to do than to make sure.
That's why you have the Elite come out.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. The Elite's going to try to come out, but the Dark Order, who has nothing better to do, is going to stop them from coming out. They're going to prevent the Elite. They're going to guard. They're going to hold the line in the gorilla position. They're going to be back there making sure the Elite doesn't come out. Don Callis will be out there, and he'll try to do some funky stuff. But I do think you'll have one member of the Dark Order come out and, get in his face and stop him from doing it. Probably Evil Uno, just because he's the leader. But yeah.
John Silver.
I would prefer John Silver. I'm going to be honest with you, man. That guy is my freaking role model now. I love that guy. I can't say enough good things about him. But yeah, that's my pick for match of the night. And to tell you why, I think that's gonna be match of the night. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a great night, man. It's gonna be a great night. And as we mentioned earlier in the show, you can check us out. We're gonna have a live post-game reaction on Pacific 414's YouTube channel. You'll find it there, and I of course have gotten his permission that we're gonna actually upload that as a bonus episode as well. So if you're not able to catch it there, you'll be able to catch it on our usual platforms. And yeah, I'll be looking forward to doing that. I can't wait to discuss it with you and King Phoenix as we did for All Out.
Looking forward to it. And I just want to remind folks, like we did at the start of the show, that when you're watching tomorrow's post show on the Pacific 4 and 4 YouTube channel, be prepared for us to drop a few F-bombs at some point.
Yes. The Quidman Jenkins that you know and love from Over the Barricade. I'm going to tell you guys, to be honest with you, this is a watered down product right here. I cuss like a sailor when I'm not on air. I do. I really do. I work in mortgage. I cuss all day at everybody in my path. And to go an hour and a half without saying the F word is very challenging to me. So I hope you guys appreciate the sacrifice that I make to do that.